The St. Louis Cardinals defeated the Philadelphia Phillies 4-2 today behind the pitching of Jason Marquis and a great performance by the bullpen, who went 3 2/3 innings without allowing a hit. The Cardinals continue to leave men on. They put 12 men on today by either a hit or a walk, but only scored 4 runs. On a sad note, Jimmy Rollins' hit streak came to an end. He went 0 for 4. He could have come up in the 9th inning. They had the extra inning because they were trailing, but he was the 5th man due up. The Phillies went 1-2-3, and that was it for Rollins. It was a 6-4 victory for the San Francisco Giants today over the Atlanta Braves. I want to comment on one thing, though. Barry Bonds, 0 for 2 with 2 intentional walks. First time they intentionally walked him, Moises Alou grounded into a double play. The second time they intentionally walked him, 3 hits followed, and the Braves lost the ball game. Now, if you look at his stats right now, Bonds is batting .143 with a .455 on base average. Right now, Bonds has not shown that he can hit. If Bonds can hit, then you pitch around him. If he can't hit, pitch to him. I say right now, pitch to him until he proves he can hit. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays win their first game of the year as Mark Hendrickson picks up the first complete game and the first shutout of the Major League season. The 2-0 win for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays over the Baltimore Orioles. Hendrickson pitched an excellent outing, only allowed 3 hits, struck out 5, walked just 1, and 69 of his 106 pitches went for strikes. That's what you want for your pitchers. You want them to be efficient, get a whole game in about 100 pitches, and save the bullpen. Good job tonight by the Devil Rays, getting their first win of the season. The Toronto Blue Jays beat the Minnesota Twins 6-3 tonight, but the real story of the game was Carlos Silva, who walked 2 people in the game for the first time since September of 2004. All last season, he never walked more than 1 in a game. He also hit a batter, led to 6 runs, 5 earned against the control specialist, and allowed Gustavo Cassin to pick up his first victory of the year. Toronto moves to 2-1. The Cincinnati Reds extend their record to 2-1 tonight with a 6-5 win over the Pittsburgh Pirates. The big news for Cincinnati is that Brian Clausen pitched very well, only went 5 innings and gave up 3 runs, but no walks, 5 strikeouts. With Clausen, his control's been a little bit of a problem. Probably can get the walks down a great deal. It'll help him, especially when homers are flying out of Great American Ballpark. He gave up 1 home run tonight, which is his only mistake, a 3-run shot. But Cincinnati came back. Burns got the win, but Clausen pitched well. Well, the Tigers beat the Rangers 10-6 tonight, and R.A. Dickey had a really rough one. He gave up 7 home runs tonight in only 3 1/3 innings. Last year, in 29 innings, he only gave up 4 home runs. Chris Shelton continues his hot hitting. He had 2 home runs tonight. He had 2 on opening day. That's 4 for the season. And Maglio Ordonez hit 2 home runs for Detroit tonight. So far they've gotten a great game out of Ivan Rodriguez and a great game out of Maglio Ordonez, and the Tigers really need those 2 to hit this year if they're going to compete. The Washington Nationals bowed to the Mets today 10-5. It was an interesting game from the point of view of Pedro Martinez. Making his first start of the regular season, he had limited spring training because of the toe injury. He struck out 6 in 6 innings, which is Pedro, but he also walked 5, which isn't Pedro. Now, on top of that wildness, he also hit 3 batters, which in Pedro's history isn't unusual. There was one year where he actually started the season with more hit batters than walks allowed. So Pedro's not quite back, but it was good enough for the win tonight. Interesting story, Carlos Beltran hit his first home run after going 0 for 9. The fans had been booing him, but they wanted a curtain call. Beltran didn't want to make it. Julio Franco forced him out there. It was probably the best thing because he doesn't want to turn into Ted Williams. There was finally some offense at Coors last night as the Arizona Diamondbacks defeated the Colorado Rockies 12-5. Pitching again was the story here, and this time just for Arizona. Miguel Batista put together a very good game, striking out 11 over 7 innings and only allowing 2 earned runs. The Arizona Diamondbacks come out of a 3-game series at Coors with a 2.86 team ERA. Who knows? Maybe they'll win the team ERA title this year. The Seattle Mariners defeated the Oakland Athletics last night by a score of 6-2. Seattle now moves into sole possession of first place in the AL West. Seattle's offense has been on fire this year. They're scoring over 6 runs a game. And one of the reasons is they're putting the ball in play. They've only struck out 22 times so far this season. That's only about 5 times a game. They have a high batting average, they have a high on-base average, and their slugging percentage is over 500. Right now, the offense is doing everything right. Before we finish, 2 injuries to note. A.J. Burnett threw in a minor league game last night in Dunedin and pitched well. But the news isn't as good for the Dodgers, as Eric Gagne is going to have more arm surgery. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but last year it was for the season, and it's a very similar surgery. So too bad for Eric Gagne there and the Dodger fans. Well, thank you for tuning in to Baseball Musings today. I hope you'll come back soon.